Welcome everyone from a sunny Cape Town. We are so happy to be part of this graduation. We have been waiting for many months for this moment to happen. And we are so proud of all our participants who will join us today and be the first ones to graduate from the Integrating Technology in Teaching and Learning course, which was designed and developed by my colleague, Isabel, who you see below me and on the screen.
Hi,
and
everyone.
myself. And just to give you a bit of background, my name is Daniela Gashago. I work for the University of Cape Town in academic staff development, and I'm a learning designer and an academic staff developer. So this project is very close to my heart. Isabel, do you want to introduce
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Isabel Tarling. I also work with the Two Oceans Graduate Institute, doing very similar work to what Daniela does. We work with lecturers and learning design and working with the curriculum and seeing how technology can be integrated into the curriculum. So this project is also really close to my heart.
So the course that we designed for the Integrating Technology in Teaching and Learning for the TTC colleges was a process of co-creation that we developed with partners in Malawi, with the TTC, with participants from the TTCs, the principals, technical advisors, the lecturers themselves, support from GIZ, from GOPA, from all the stakeholders involved in this process. And we met for a series of workshops. That was maybe now 2 years ago. And we developed these principles that we wanted the courses to be based on. And one of the first things that became clear is that it was not just about, integrating technology into teaching and learning, but also understanding the teaching and learning theory behind integrating technology into teaching and learning. And one of the big things for the curriculum in Malawi at that time was this introduction of this move towards more learner-centeredness and inquiry-based learning. So part of our course was not just to integrate teaching and learning, technology into teaching and learning, but also to model student-centeredness. And what we also used or drew from quite extensively was the design thinking literature. So our whole learning design was based on this idea that, empathy for the learner has to be at the forefront of all our design decisions. But also the kind of philosophy that design thinking supports this idea that we design on the go, that we design iteratively, that we respond to feedback quite quickly. So you'll see we have redesigned the course over 4 or 5 times until we actually got it right. So that design thinking is all about this iterative, cyclical development, trying out things, seeing if they work, and making quick changes based on participants' feedback. But also this make-do attitude. It was not, we were, the context was not easy. Lockdown happened in the middle of our project, so rather than us traveling to Malawi and conducting workshops, we had to quickly change our plans and offer a more online or blended learning approach. So in terms of theory, what we drew up from was the TPAC knowledge, and TPAC is really the idea that it's not just about the technological knowledge if you want to integrate technology into teaching and learning, but it's also about, you need to know, first and foremost, you're a content expert as an academic, you know your content, but you also need to know how to teach that discipline, that content. You will teach science differently than, for example, languages. So you have to have that specialized knowledge. And then there's the technological knowledge, how to integrate technology into your discipline to transfer your content. So this idea that, there are these different kind of knowledges that work together was really important for our course design.
And then what we also wanted to bring in was the difference between just digital teaching and digital learning. So we wanted to to use the teaching change frame, as you can see on the right, from this TPAC framework. So from the center of where the technological and pedagogical and content knowledge comes together, we wanted to think through and help our participants to think through that it's not just about delivering content in a digital teaching space, but it's also very much around empowering students to be part of the learning, to be part of the digital learning movement. So that's why we worked with the teaching change frame, and lecturers could see if they were in one space, how they could move over and become more learner-centric by using different technologies in different ways.
So this was the first course that we came up with after this co-creation process that we went through, all these learning design workshops we had online with partners in Malawi. We designed this 5 to 6 week course for our master trainers at the beginning. And we started off with an online workshop, 5 days, and then there was an online study phase, and then we finished off with an online workshop. And it was a fantastic time. July 2020, everybody was off, there was no teaching happening, so people had really time and space to focus on this course. And the kind of topics we covered were learning design, information literacy, developing computer literacy. So we had a lot of Microsoft components in there, developing teaching and learning resources, such as multimedia resources, and developing engagement resources. And that then led to the last workshop, which was about online assessment and developing an e-portfolio. So this was the iteration, the first iteration in July and August 2020, with these beautiful master trainers who supported us throughout and developed beautiful portfolios, beautiful activities and portfolios during the course of the program. We used Moodle as a course platform, we had Big Blue Button as a video conferencing tool, and WhatsApp as an informal communication channel. This was the course on Moodle, and these are the beautiful portfolios that the participants developed.
So our iterations were in 2020, we had 3 iterations. The first one was, of course, during lockdown, like Daniela said, and that was fantastic because the lecturers had all the time in the world to spend working on their portfolios and also on the learning, and we were finding our feet. So they were constantly WhatsApping us, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, and in real time we could fix it for them, which was a fantastic opportunity. And then the second iteration happened with St. Joseph and Cheradzulu between September and October, and the third one was also, it was a self-completed one, but we also had some online spaces, online presentations that we did.
And then in 2021, we did a whole redesign. We decided that actually it's very difficult to use the computers. Initially, the course was designed for computers predominantly and Padlets, tablets, and we found that it was difficult to find access to computers in the labs. And we redesigned the course for it to be completely mobile phone friendly. So the idea was that lecturers could actually use their own equipment, their own phones, their own tablets, or use the tablets that the TTC had to offer. We have a collaboration where they could access iPads, and we redesigned the course to make it much lighter. We removed some of the more dense theoretical stuff and developed ITTL Lite, as it was called, which was a mobile-friendly course that could be done on a mobile phone. And we cut it down to 5 units, getting started, information literacy, mobile learning, developing digital content, and e-assessment and e-portfolios. And we offered it once in a blended learning way. So we offered webinars, weekly webinars and check-in sessions, and then lecturers worked at the TTC, supported by the master trainers. And then Amanda and Panji took over and offered actually face-to-face workshops in the TTCs and supported participants in the labs to do this course. And the 6th iteration will happen from March 2022 And that will we will see how that works. But that again is planned as a face-to-face intervention at the TTCs. These are some of the e-portfolios developed during the last few iterations. Right, you can see all this is an example of an e-portfolio done by one of our, as a model, e-portfolio by one of our colleagues.
And of course, the e-portfolios were created in Padlet. So as you can see, we moved from the first iteration where we were using Book Creator, we moved on to Padlet, which is a much easier tool to use on mobile devices. And we're just so proud of everybody. We're so proud that you stuck to it, and your resolute determinism or determinedness to work on this course and to overcome difficulties and to overcome barriers. We are beyond excited for everything that this group of Malawian graduates have achieved, and we really just congratulate you from the bottom of our hearts. Well done, everybody.